What you need to understand is there is something called failing forward, right? You can actually fail, but your failure is failing you forward. Now, let me give us an allegory, right? When you get into a plane and you are sitting at the front seat and you were asked, maybe rudely, in fact, by an hostess, and you were requested to go to the back seat. You're on your way back. The question is, are you going back? And the answer to that question is yes. But let's look at it on a broader sense. Are you really going back? In a broader sense, are you going back? The answer is no. Because eventually, so long as you are in that plane, you are going to arrive at your destination. Now that captures the whole tenet of failing forward. There are sometimes you're going to see that situations are going to hit you. You're going to be tempestuous by the realities of life, the viciousness of the unfairness of life. And you're going to say to yourself, am I really making progress? Am I really living up to my expectations, up to where or what I'm supposed to be doing? Now here is the encouragement I'm giving us today. So long as you are in identification with who you are, so long as you are acting in consistency with the definition of your person, with the definition of who you are, your values, your traits, your proclivities, your inclinations, so long as they are aligned with righteousness. I'm using the word righteousness not as a religious word now, but just to encompass the symbolism of what I'm trying to portray. So long as you are in that position where you are acting rightly, I tell you this, it may take time. It may seem as if you are going backward. It may seem as if you are failing. It may seem as if the whole hell has been let loose on you. It may seem as if the king of darkness with his viciousness has literally said to the devils, the demons, all go after this one. Fail forward. Make up your mind that you're not going to settle for where you are. Now, guess what I'm trying to communicate? You can decide to resolve to complacency at your current state. You can decide to be self-satisfactory, uncritically so, that you are satisfied with where you are and there is no point. You're looking at the hard times. You're looking at the challenges that you are going to face in front. And you're saying, I can't do it. It's better for me to remain where I am right now than for me to take on those challenges. Now, here's what I'm postulating before us. So if you decide to remain where you are, there is one assurance I'm about to give you, and it's factual. There will be no advancement for you. But if you decide to take the risk and say, I'm going after the storm, that's why I like the eagle. The eagle uses the storm to accentuate its height, right? It literally uses the storm to accentuate the altitude that it can fly. You can see that storm as a challenge, or you can see it as an opportunity, and you can have this mindset of, this is the universe trying to make me. This is my gestation period. This is me pruning myself. This is me vetting my intentions, trying to align who I am, discovering my real essence. The challenges I'm facing right now, they are literally revealing me to me. That's the mentality I want you to have. Because the truth is, I'm willing to warn you, new levels bring new devils. You can't make progress without obstacles. You're going to advance. I am willing to warn you, it's going to be hard. It's going to be as if you're hitting a wall. What you should understand is the most important part of this building I'm in right now is the part we can't see. The most important part of this building is the foundation, and that's the part we can't see. But guess what? Without this foundation, everything up here is insecure. The security of this building, the security I have within me, that this building is going to stay above me and not fall on me, is because of the strength that the architectural plan imbibe or imbued in the foundation of this building. So that's what you need to understand. When you're going to make your advancement, there are some actions you will be taking, and they might be seeming insignificant. You might be saying, do I really need to do it? Is this necessary? I tell you, it is necessary. And eventually, it's going to speak of 80% of your progress. But guess what people are going to notice? The 20%. It's going to culminate 80% of the work, the struggle, the scuffle, the wrangling that it took from where you are right now to get to where you're going. But people are going to celebrate you for the 20% of the efforts that you put up. New levels brings new devils. And another thing I want to make us understand is that everybody has a wish, right? But what's the strategy? You need a strategy for you to move from step 1 to step 2. And the definition of a strategy is a synchronized step-by-step plan from point A to point B. So until you can make a detailed imagination of what is going to take from point A to point B, then what you have is a wish. You don't have a goal. It takes a strategy for it to be called a goal. So you need to get out of the realm of wishful thinking to take up the responsibility of being logical, being cognitive in your approach to your destination. Because your direction in life literally determines your destination. And until you can picture the direction you are following, you are going and you are advancing in, then your destination is literally an hallucination, right? You are hallucinating. It's a wish to you. I am saying this from the bottom of my heart, and I hope we can resonate with it. It's important that you make up a strategy from where you are to where you're going. You need to draft it and you need to make it intentional. The pivot, what if you take anything from our time here today, I want you to take this with you. And this is this simple fact. Your circumstances right now do not define you. But then for you to make progress and for you to make sure that this statement I just made right now is true, this is what you need to realize. Just because you don't have it in you right now does not mean it's not in you. You're going to get to a position in your life where you feel you are an imposter. You see, the fact is, everybody is an imposter in a new level. So whenever you step into a new level, you were not there, so you're going to feel as if you're not supposed to be there. But give it time. Give it time. Have a settled conviction in your mind that I am going to achieve this. I am going to be an imposter until it becomes my reality. And it's important that you feel that way. You know why? Because the moment you start reconsidering your decision to advance, you start to ebb out of relevance. You start to decline. The word is deplete. You start to reconsider and say, okay, fine, I think I was actually comfortable where I was. What necessity is it that I go through all this stress? I mean, I used to not read at all, and now because I need to advance, I am reading almost daily. I used to be comfortable with what I have, and now I am having responsibility. I need to take care of people. This is too stressful to me. I can't take this. Now the problem with that mindset is that whatever you resonate it, you see, what you believe is what you multiply and expand in your life experiences. Let me reiterate that. Whatever you believe is whatever you talk about and believe while you're talking about it is what you multiply and expand in your life experiences. So you want to make sure that what you are talking about as a result of what you believe, because it's from your heart that your words come out, right? So you want to make sure that whatever you're talking about is in alignment with where you are going. So don't talk about things unless you want to multiply them and expand them in your life experiences. You don't talk about things unless you want them to keep on happening to you. So you're saying to yourself, I have failed, I'm going to fail. It's going to happen. Ultimately, I dare to say so. So what you want to begin doing is to say to yourself affirmatively that I might not see it now, but it's there. It's possible that this can be me. It's possible that I can achieve my goal. It's possible that I can function in this cadre, in this strata of influence. That's how you want to think. Because you see, life is zero sum. Nobody gets out of life alive. I will reiterate this because the repetition creates persuasion. The more something is being repeated, it becomes a settled conviction in the ears and the mind of the hearers, right? So I'm going to reiterate it until you get it. Life is actually a zero-sum game. Nobody gets out of life alive. So what you want to begin doing is to make sure that you make the maximum contribution you can while you can. So you have to do what you can where you are with what you have. You want to make sure that you make the maximum level of contribution that you can with the short span of life that you have. You can't wait for all the things to fall into place. You can't wait for all the people to like you. You are going to get frustrated because you see, people get threatened by progress. Humanity as a whole, our mind, our brain functions in such a way that we are threatened by new things. So whenever you're beginning to do something new, chances are that the people around you, the 95% of people around you, are going to feel threatened. They're going to ask you such questions like, who does he think he is? What does he think he wants to do? Now, those questions are necessary. This is what I want us to understand. They are necessary because that brings a justification that you are really getting out of your position of comfort. You are stepping out of your state of complacency. They're going to ask you those questions and it is necessary. Now, what you don't want to do is give up because of that, I would call it cynicism, that ill wishing from people. The truth is, they don't mean it, but it's human nature because they haven't seen it done, so their conclusion is it can't be done. And moreover, not by you. I know you. I know you from Adam. I mean, when did you develop this passion? When did you develop this ideology? When did you begin to program your mindset in this frequency? That's exactly how people are going to act towards you. Now, it is not erroneous in their sense. It is not erroneous that they're acting towards you in that manner. What will be erroneous is if you take it personal. It's not wise that you take it personal. It's wise that you see it as a necessary approach, a necessary obstacle, or a necessary a necessary luggage, right? Because that's really how humanity has been programmed. So what you need to do is use that and motivate yourself. You can use it as an excuse not to get to a position of success, or you can use it as a motivating force to get to a position of success. Now, the choice is yours. The choice is yours. Who are you as an individual? You need to define yourself and get blind to every other thing everybody is saying. Every other thing everybody is saying is not necessary. It's not necessary. Now, the last thing I want us to get for our time here today together is, it's not what you see, right? It's how you interpret what you see that makes the difference. So you can literally see poop. Literally, what feces? What's the word? Yeah, I think that's the word. Feces, right? You can literally see it and go like, "Ew." And then somebody who that is business, he makes a living from gathering that and making money out of it. He will see it and he will go like, money. So the same image, different interpretation. So to you, you are disgust. To him, he's picturing the reward he's going to get from gathering that and giving it to where it's useful. So what you want to begin doing is change your interpretation of your situations. You can be in a situation right now and you say, this is it. This is all. I can't go in. There are no jobs out there. I can't do it. I can't advance. I mean, what's the point of going to college when every graduate that is coming out is useless to himself? He's not making an impact. They had their dreams and they come out now and the situations are not right. They can't implement on their ideas. What's the point? Or you can say to yourself, I'm going to go to college, I'm going to come out, and I'm going to make job opportunities available for those who are finding it difficult. Those are two different mindsets. You can say to yourself that this is it for my life. I can't advance anymore. Come on, I mean, it's too hard, it's too difficult. Or you can say to yourself, I'm training. This is my pruning stage. This is the universe vetting my intentions. This is me developing myself. This is me pruning and vetting and discovering who I am to host where I'm going to. Because it's going to be embarrassing to get to the stage and you rehearse. You don't rehearse on the stage, right? On the live stage, you don't. The live stage is meant for you to perform and be applauded. Now, you can either perform and be applauded, or you can perform and be booed at. You don't get to the throne unprepared. You can rehearse every other place you are on your way to the throne, but once you get to the throne is a delicate place. It's a place where you are required to function at the maximum capacity that you can. So you don't get to the throne unprepared. You want to make sure that you make due use of the time you have right now to prepare, because eventually, Abraham Lincoln said this. He said, I will prepare and one day my time will come. So you want to make sure that the time you have right now, you don't waste it. You make due use of it and you prepare yourself, because as far as you are on the right track, you are going to get to the throne. Now the question is, when you eventually get to the throne, are you going to be prepared to handle the responsibilities? Because people tend to look at the throne as a place of comfort. No, it's not a place of comfort. It is a place where you'll be bombarded by responsibilities. Now, what makes it seem as if those who are on the throne are attaining comfort or are comfortable is because of the ease of mastery that they have attained. They have attained a level of mastery through their gestation and training period, that at that level, even with all that they are being probed with, they are functioning maximally, because they can now capably, because of the gestation period that they went through, to attain the experience and the information, the knowledge that they needed to function effectively in where they are right now on the throne. So it is important that you make due use of the time and season you are in right now to prepare yourself. You read the materials, read the books. You don't want to be caught unprepared. You don't want to be caught unfresh. You don't want to be caught stupid. You want to make sure that when the time comes where that responsibility is being placed on you, you are prepared for it. And the only way you can be prepared for it is that you need to be blindly development conscious. You need to develop yourself consciously, even if you can't really see or you haven't gotten into an experiential knowledge of where you are going to. Now, it's very important, and you need to understand that except that process has been undergone, except you've pruned yourself, except you've taken away, you've literally contrast all the unnecessary particles from your personality, when you get to the throne, you're going to flop. And you wouldn't want to flop on the throne. I beg to tell us, so you wouldn't want to flop on the throne. So make your time right now. Read the books while you can. Attend the events while you can, because there's a time that's going to come and you'll be required to be the teacher at those events. So go to the event. There are 5 attributes of a leader I'm going to give us today, and I believe it's very important and pivot that you understand this. 5 attributes of a leader that every leader, anybody that is saying to himself that I want to get to a position of leadership, you need to have these 5 attributes. First of all, number 1, you need to have courage and you need to be strong. A leader is defined by how courageous and how strong you are in a position where you are responsible for decisions, and you have to be courageous to take those decisions on the basis of righteousness and having the right information. Secondly, you need to be a logical thinker as a leader. As a leader, you don't think based on emotion. You don't make your decisions or your conclusions or your postulations on the basis of emotions. You want to make sure that you have the facts, you have the figures. You are cognitive in your approach. Thirdly, a leader has to be teachable. You want to make sure that those who are following you are following what is correct. You might start leading a group of people, and at a certain advancement or a stage, what you guys, the ideologies you had when you began, begin to become obsolete, right? So you want to make sure that you subject yourself to teaching. You want to make sure you subject yourself to learning. So a leader has to be teachable. That's the third point. Fourthly, a leader has to have the heart of a servant. You want to make sure that you don't see yourself as a ruler. Rather, you see yourself as a servant. You want to make sure that you see yourself as the stone, the cornerstone, right? On which everybody is stepping on to accentuate themselves. So you want to make sure that the mentality you have is that of servitude, not rulership, not dictatorship, right? And fifthly, and I beg to say lastly, a leader has to be obedient and humble. Obedient and humble. There is a certain degree of humility it takes for you to serve, and there is a certain degree of humility for you to win the trust of people. People want to make sure that and know that who they are following is humble enough to listen to them, obedient enough to deconstruct or abandon faulty belief systems and get into what will benefit the whole group as a whole, right? So you need to be strong and courageous. You need to be logical in your thinking. You need to be obedient and humble. You need to be a servant in heart, and then you need to be teachable as a leader. And that's what our time has for us here today. So, and to the Pathfinders family, I say thank you, and I take not your time to learn. The time you subject yourself to learning, I take it not for granted, and it's important that you do subject yourself to learning, because it takes the difference between where you are right now and where you want to be is the word how and the word price. So you need to know how, and you need to be willing to pay the price. So I thank you for subjecting yourself to the learning and the mentorship that you're receiving on board the platform. And please share this, subscribe to the channel so it can grow. We're not, our ideology or our motive is not necessarily celebrity status, but what we're looking at is how to spread the word out so this information can get to a larger and a broader spectrum of people. So like, comment, share. If you have something resonating with your mind, and you think it's going to be beneficial to many other people, our time is fast spent, but like, comment, and share on this so it can bless somebody else, and take it viral. Share it as many as you can see and find, and you think are in need of this information. Share it to them so they will know Africa is time that we need to rise. We need to take our decision and make sure that we're moving towards the right direction and subject ourselves to the right information, because we can move to the wrong direction with the wrong information and we will arrive at the wrong destination. We can move on the wrong direction with the wrong information and we can arrive at the wrong destination. That's what we don't want to do. So thank you for your time.
Thank you for joining us for another pathfinding session. We graciously welcome you to the Pathfinders Global family.
What we do at the Pathfinders Global is to help you discover your purpose,
bring you into the understanding of what it takes to achieve your purpose,
and ultimately ignite the willingness in you to pay the price it takes to achieve your purpose.
We hope that this content is illuminating to you as you discover your path and achieve your purpose.
And now, the Pathfinders.